All right, good morning, students. Today we are going to look into remainder concept 1 and 2 as a form of a revision, and I would like to actually go through again question by question. So please follow me and take out your remainder concept 1 and 2. Let me share screen to show you what I mean. Okay, this is remainder concept 1. So when you see remainder concept, you read the question and there are some phrases to tell you that actually we are going to use remainder concept on that. Esther used 1/4 of her allowance to buy a bag and spent 1/3 of the remainder on food. She was left with $1,800. Fill in the blanks on the model using the words in bold. How much was her allowance? So take note, words in bold means the words bag, remainder, so in class, we already know 1/4 of her allowance to buy back, meaning my total have 4 units, but I take 1 unit to buy back. That's why I write my back under here. And the rest of this portion here is the remainder. This is the remainder. Then after that, out of the remainder, 1/3 spent on food and the rest is left. Do not write $1,800 here. So you can see that just nice, the remainder, you have 3 units and they want 1/3 of the remainder. Then you can see, oh, 2 units is 1,800. You find 1, whereby you will get 900, and you find 4. So 900 times 4 is 3,600. Then you can write down the final statement and bring down your answer together with the units, 3,600. With that, let's take a look at question 2. Emily baked 1,200 bread buns. She sold 1/6 of them and donated 2/5 of the remainder to food distribution organization. How many bread buns did Emily left? So we are going to draw a model. Draw a big bar and you cut it into 6 equal parts and label one part as sold. The rest will be the remainder. So you realize that I use a yellow highlighter just to let the model pop up to show you that actually this is the remainder. Now, I'm going to use my hand to cover because I want you to focus on the remainder. Remainder, there are 5 parts here. Or I can name it as 5 units. Out of the remainder, 2 out of the remainder were donated to food organization. Just nice, I got 5 units here, and 2 out of 5 of them is donated to food distribution, food organization. And this portion is what is left by Emily. So take note, I will go back to the question and ask myself, have I used all the information provided in the question? Aha, I have the 1,200. Yay. And with that, I want to start solving. How many units correspond to 1,200? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you write here, 6 units correspond to 1,200. 1 unit is 1,200 divided by 6. And question asks for Emily left, you find 3 units, which is the answer. You will find that as you fill in the blank, you will find that the answer is 600. And you can write down the final statement and the answer itself. This is a warm-up. Still possible, so you draw your model. Let's take a look at question 3. Okay, question 3, same thing. 1/7 of a school garden was used to grow vegetables. 1/3 of the remaining garden was used to grow orchids. What fraction of the garden was used to grow orchids? Take note, they say what fraction of the garden, meaning the entire garden. Mrs. Aoyong already highlighted the remaining, and I drew out 7. I took 1 to represent the part of the garden used to grow vegetables, and the rest of the 6 is remaining. Now that day, some students asked, teacher, the remainder, I count 6, but I don't know how to get 1/3 of the remainder. So since your remainder, there's 6, you can write down 1/3 is equivalent to how much of 6? And when you multiply by 2, by the numerator and denominator, you will find that, hey, actually 1/3 is 2 units. Some say, teacher, I actually want to drop down my model to show the remainder again and cut into 1/3. Then I get to see, oh, really, 1/3 corresponds to 2 units. All right, so at least you know that 2 units were used to grow orchids. But they ask, what fraction of the garden? Let me zoom in my video. What fraction of the garden? So it's 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the answer is 2 out of 7 of the garden was used to grow orchids. So this answer is 2 out of 7. All right, let's move on. In your revision, you can also go through with me, and I will give you more work to try now. Net use 1/5 of a box of sugar for cooking and 3/4 of the remainder to make bread. The rest of the sugar will pack equally into 5 packets. What fraction of the total amount of sugar was in each packet? So I'm going to draw a big bar to represent the 5 big units, and net use 1 unit for cooking. And the rest are your remainder here. This is your remainder. And just nice, they say, out of the remainder, net is going to take 3/4. That means 3 out of 4. So you check, do I have 4 units here? Do I have 4 units? I have. So you count 3, 1, 2, 3 to make bread. And the rest, this is the rest. Take note, the rest will pack equally into 5 packets. So that day some children say, teacher, I know, actually I just cut into 5 packets like that. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cut. They did ask, what fraction of the total amount of sugar was in each packet? So let's check. Are all the units of the same size because I cut this big unit into 5 smaller ones? Great, you need to cut the rest also into 5. Then all the units are of the same size. Now let's take a look. What is the fraction? I know this is 1, but how about the total number of the small units that you see now? Okay, you take 5 times 5 and you get 25. So if you count on, you will find that there are total 25 units as well. That's why the fraction is 1 out of 25. Then you can write the answer is 1 out of 25. And you transfer the answer down at the answer blank. Okay, so it looks like easy, but actually a lot of thinking behind in the model. Let's take a look at question 5. 2/11 of the coins in the box are 10-cent coins. 5/18 of the remainder are $1 coins. The remaining coins are 20-cent coins. There are 45 more 20-cent coins than 10-cent coin. Take note, they are comparing 20 cent with 10 cent, and there's a number 45 here. So you know later you're going to use this number 45 to link with the number of units. What is the total value? This one is a bit tricky because here they are talking about number of coins. However, question asking for value. Meaning once you find the number of coins, you need to still slowly go and multiply and get value. I'm going to draw a working column at the side. Then I am going to draw the long bar. I'm going to draw 11. I need you to redo the question to have a full understanding. Don't just look at your paper and go through the recording like this. So there are 2, that is 10-cent coins. And the rest are the remainder. The rest are the remainder. 5 out of 18 of the remainder are $1 coins. Let's check. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only got 9 units here. How to get 5 out of 18? How to get 5 out of 18? You cannot like draw more units at the side. Cannot. 5 out of 18. So from 9, how to get 18? Yes, you subdivide every big unit into 2 smaller ones. This is important step. You write 9 times 2, 18. Then you start to subdivide here. Take note, when we subdivide, this portion here also must subdivide so that the units are of the same size. Then you can compare. Units of different size, no point of comparison because not fair. Then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your $1 coins. Take note, I'm still talking about number of $1 coins. And the rest is 20-cent coins. Okay, the rest are 20-cent coins. So let me write down for you the units here. Now you count 18 minus 5 is 13. So here there are 13 units. Write down the units here. Make sure that there's no mistake in this unit so that when you compare, it's easier. Now they are comparing 2 things. They are comparing 20 cents with 10 cents. So be very careful. Don't anyhow take 13 minus 5. Read the question. They are comparing 20 cents with 10 cents. So you take 13 minus 4 to give us 9. 9 unit, we link it to that 45 here. 9 unit equivalent to 45. 1 unit 45 divided by 9, which is 5. So what you are looking here is still the number of coins. So in the correction, a lot of you forgot to write this number of 10-cent coins, number of $1 coins, number of 20-cent coins. 5 times 4, which is 20. 5 times 5, which is 25. 13 times 5, which is 65. Okay, there are 20 10-cent coins, 25 $1 coins, and 65 20-cent coins. But because right now they want us to find the value, so you take 20 times 0.10 cent, you take 25 times $1, you will get $25, and you get 13 times 0.2. So how to multiply? This one, you can take 20 times 0.1, and you put back the decimal point, you see that it's $2. This you can take 13 times 0.2, same thing. Sorry, not 13, 65. 65 times 0.2, you will get 13. You put back the decimal point here, then you have the 13. Then you will get the final answer by adding all up together. You will get a nice final answer and you put it down as the final answer. Please work it out, okay? I already told you the answer here, but do work it out yourself. That is for remainder concept 1. Okay, you take a small break, you can pause the video, but Mrs. Auyong is going to carry on to remainder concept 2. Remainder concept 2, same thing, just that it requires you to do subdivision. That means you need to find common multiple. All right, let's get started. The National Environmental Agency planted some trees at the park. 4-7 were rain trees. You can see that the 4-7 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the 7, 4 are rain trees. So since I know this and they ask me to fill in the blanks on the model using the words in bold, I write rain first. 5 out of 9 of the remainder were angsana trees and the rest were yellow flame trees. So at least I know that this is the remainder. I spell properly. And I know this is angsana and this is yellow flame. But because they say 5 out of 9, you realize that this already subdivided for you into 9 units and they take 5. So I write down the 5 units here, the 4 units here, and the 12 units here. Then take note, the phrase to take note is 280 more rain trees than angsana tree. They are comparing rain and angsana. So take note, when you want to compare the difference of the units, you need to use the correct units by taking 12 units minus 5 to give you 7. 7 units correspond to 280. Find 1. Now they ask, how many trees were there planted in all? You count. 3 times 9, which is 27. So there are 27 units. Go and find out what is the 27 units times 40. Then you will get the final answer. There were how many trees planted? Okay, you can do your working at the site as well. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. It's not 27, but when I count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it should be 7 times 3. That is 21 units, so I make a mistake. My apologies. So let's change the working here. It's okay to make a mistake, but you need to know how to rectify the mistake. So the answer is 840 because the total number of units is 21. 7 times 3, 21, yes. So after that, you bring down the answer to 840. There are 21 units instead. Okay, let's take a look at question 2. Question 2, I think I've gone through in class. The waste collectors sorted some recyclable items. 3/4 were paper. 1/6 of the remainder were plastic and the rest were glass. There were 8 kg less plastic than glass items. How many paper items were there? Take note, they are comparing plastic with glass. So later when you look at your model, just zoom into this tool. And this is a remainder concept of the phrasing, the remainder. So let's draw a long bar and cut into 4. And 3 out of 4 were paper. The rest is actually our remainder. Can see it's always the same step together. Now take note, out of the remainder, you want 1/6. But what you see is a big part here. How to actually get 1/6? Please don't go and add more model. No, we don't go and add more model. We only subdivide, or in your words, you cut the model. So some children say, teacher, I cut into 6 parts, 6 smaller units. Then I label one as plastic and the rest as glass. Here is 1 unit. Here is 5 units. How about the paper? Do I need to cut into 6 smaller units as well for fairness? Yes, you can. Either you write 6 units inside, or you also can cut. Then you know that 6 times 3 is 18. Here there are 18 units that represent paper. But take note, they are comparing plastic with glass. The difference between plastic and glass. So you must always go and read back. What are they comparing? Then you take 5 units minus 1 unit that correspond to 8 kg. So how to get 1 unit? And they ask you, how many paper items are there? Look for 18 units. You will get 36. But 36 is not just 36. It's 36 kg. There is a unit called kg. Then you bring it down, 36 kg. Okay, the word kg is very important. Now let's take a look at question 3. Question 3, I also gone through in class, same thing. Lena gives a monthly allowance by her mother. She spent 3 out of 8 of her allowance on transport, 3/10 of the remainder on food, and saves the rest. If she saved $357, how much is her monthly allowance? Okay, we can see that originally Mrs. Aoyong drew 8 big units. And I labeled 3 big units as transport. And the rest I label as remainder. But no matter how I count, I realize that I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. I don't know how to get 3 out of 10. I only got 5. How to get 10? So use the common multiple. 5 times 2 give you 10. And when they say times 2, it means that every unit you subdivide into smaller ones. And that's how I subdivide to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And here I also subdivide. Then after counting, I realized that there are 6 units representing transport, 3 units representing food, and 7 units representing the amount of savings. Since I need to do a quick link, I write down 7 units equal 357. 1 unit, what is it? And you find 16 units because they are asking for monthly allowance. If you take 8 times 2, you will get 16 and you will see the final answer. Work it out yourself. Write down your final statement. All right, Ken. And last but not the least, question 4. Danish spent 5/6 of his money on a toy car. He spent 1/4 of the remaining money on 5 books. How many books could Danish buy with the money that he spent on the toy car? So same thing, I'm going to draw a big bar and cut into 6 portions because the fraction here is 6. And I'm going to count 5 and label it as toy car. And 1/4 of the remaining, this is the remaining. I draw your attention to this remaining. I only see one part here. How to get 1/4 of it? Correct, you cut. You cut into 4, and you say that this one is used to buy 5 books. So what happened to the rest of the unit? Do I need to cut as well? Yes, you do. You cut into 4 as well. Either you write the 4 units inside, or you cut it also to show that all the units are the same size. Take note now, one small unit can buy 5 books. Now you have 6 times 4 is 24. But they are asking, how many books could Danny buy with the money he spent on the toy car? So actually it's not 6 times 4, but rather 5 times 4 is 20, meaning 20 units represent the amount spent on the toy car. If one small unit can buy 5 books, 20 units, you can buy 100 books. And that's the answer already. The answer is 100. Okay, I hope that you take some time to look through your corrections and write down properly the correct correction, especially the model. I'm going to stop share now. And I'm also going to stop recording because in my next tool will be Remember Concept 3. Okay, thank you for your attention.